Newswatch, your source for all news impacting southeastern Ohio. I'm Joseph Hennessy. Thanks for joining us. It's one of the most anticipated congressional hearings in decades. Former special counsel Robert Mueller told Congress his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election did not exonerate President Trump. But Mueller refused to say much more as his testimony frustrated both Democrats and Republicans. Omar Jimenez has the report.
Nearly 100 days after the release of the report detailing Russia's attempts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election, a reluctant Robert Mueller testified before Congress.
The finding indicates that the president was not exculpated for the acts that he allegedly committed.
Some Democrats seeing the testimony as a chance to build the case for impeachment. But Mueller says his investigation could not indict the president because of Justice Department guidelines.
I believe a reasonable person looking at these facts could conclude that all three elements of the crime of obstruction of justice have been met. The reason, again, that you did not indict Donald Trump is because of OLC opinion stating that you cannot indict a sitting president, correct?
That is correct.
Hours later, the former special counsel amended his testimony.
That is not the correct way to say it. We did not reach a determination as to whether the president committed a crime.
The star witness refused to say if the president committed a crime and instead referred Congress to the findings of his 448-page report as Republicans pushed to close this chapter in American history.
It's time for the curtain to close on the Russia hoax. The conspiracy theory is dead.
2020 Democratic hopefuls had their opinions on the Mueller testimony. Many candidates were at an NAACP forum today in Detroit. Senator Cory Brooks shared his opinions.
You read the Mueller report and you see quite clearly that he spells out behaviors, deceit, instructing people to lie and cover things up. That report is enough of an indication that the House of Representatives should begin impeachment proceedings against this president.
An early impeachment vote was easily defeated.
Hello, I'm forecaster Blake Hardesty. Temperature-wise around the Athens area, we're looking at pretty comfortable conditions. 76 degrees at the moment in Athens. We do have isolated showers around the area possible. I'll get to that here in just a few seconds. Humidity right around 55%, so pretty comfortable evening out there. We have north winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. Around the region, we're sitting in the 70s for most of the area. 79 degrees, one spot down there in Ironton, followed by Columbus at 78. 75 degrees, our coolest spot up in Cambridge and New Martinsville. All of us have a chance of seeing those scattered showers around the evening tonight. So let's take a look at precipcast, see what's going on here. We have these little tiny showers covered up around the area today. As we go along through the evening time, we might have a few downpours as we go through the overnight hours. So if you get stuck in one of those downpours driving around, make sure you take it slow out there. You don't want to get stuck hydroplaning out there. I would take a look at natural precipcast. We have no widespread rain showers tracking at the moment, so it's going to make way for a lot of beautiful conditions the next couple of days. Still, I'll have more details about that in my extended forecast coming up soon.
Thanks, Blake. Women who are uninsured, underinsured, or insured can get cancer screenings on Friday at Athens County Jobs and Family Services. The Ohio University Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine Community Health Program set up their first mobile clinic today at Hocking College. The services include breast health education, Pap test, breast and pelvic exams, and financial support for mammograms. They had around 5 women get screened for cancer, and you can call for an appointment on Friday at the 2 numbers here. Next week, Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren will make a stop in the Buckeye State. The Massachusetts senator will visit Toledo this coming Monday for a town hall. Warren visited Columbus, Cincinnati, and Chillicothe earlier this year. And while traveling the country in an effort to round up supporters for her 2020 presidential campaign, Senator Warren is also working towards eliminating student loan debt in America. We spoke with some Ohio University students about their views on the issue.
I will definitely have some student loans when I do finish my master's. So, I mean, if I didn't have to pay those off and I could just start a job right away, that'd be awesome.
And while traveling the country in an effort to round up, Warren introduced legislation yesterday which, if signed into law, would help eliminate $640 billion worth of student loan debt. Unemployment rates rose in 52 of West Virginia's 55 counties in June. Workforce West Virginia says jobless rates dropped in Pocahontas County and remain steady in Braxton and Calhoun counties. Jackson County's seasonally unadjusted unemployment rate of 3.1% was the lowest in the state. Calhoun County had the highest unemployment rate at 9.6%. McDowell County was next at 9.4%, and Rowan County was at 7.9%. A high-ranking member of the West Virginia House of Delegates accepted a job with a controversial manufacturing plant. House Majority Whip Paul Espinoza accepted a job with Rockwool, a manufacturing plant built across the street from North Jefferson Elementary School. The plant will create stone wool insulation and emit potentially hazardous materials through smokestacks. There has been criticism against the project from opponents who say there shouldn't be such a facility near a school. The Charleston, West Virginia Police Department is now a part of the Integrated Ballistic Information Network. The department announced earlier today that they will begin using the network, which compares high-resolution images of shell casings to help identify the gun from where they came from. The network is being provided to the city at no cost by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Kentucky residents may soon face an e-cigarette tax. Yesterday, Representatives Jerry Miller and Kim Moser both proposed a bill that would place a 27.5% tax on all e-cigarettes. The amount equals the $1.10 tax on a pack of cigarettes. Miller says the bill benefits the health of Kentuckians and predicts it would generate $35 million a year for the state's general fund. Kentucky's pension bill has finally been signed into law. Governor Matt Bevin signed the measure into law today, ending the midsummer special session. Bevin called lawmakers into a special session last Friday to discuss his pension measure. The plan relieves regional universities and government entities such as public health departments from massive hikes in pension costs. A special session costs taxpayers about $66,000 per day. Ohio's capital city passed a law similar to an existing Athens law. Columbus City Council approved legislation to reduce penalties for possession of marijuana, similar to Taco in Athens. Yesterday, members voted unanimously to lower the fine for having up to 100 grams of marijuana or paraphernalia to $10. Possessing between 100 and 200 grams is reduced to a $25 fine. No one spoke against the changes at the council meeting. The Ohio State Fair started today. This year's fair is commemorating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. To celebrate the moon landing, this year's life-size butter sculpture features Neil Armstrong saluting the American flag. The sculpture also includes the Apollo 11 emblem and a life-size sculpture of astronauts Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins. Governor Mike DeWine kicked off the fair with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and performances by local bands. And when we come back, we'll be looking at 9/11 funds when we get back to Newswatch.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell its story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television can be.
"9/11 victims are one step closer to securing their compensation for decades to come." Yesterday, the Senate passed a bill extending their compensation claims fund over the long haul. The bill cleared the House earlier this month, and President Trump is expected to sign it. The move extends funds compensating first responders injured during the terrorist attacks. The original fund was running out of money, and it was set to expire in December next year. Now the fund will cover costs without any financial limits. Jon Stewart, an activist for first responders' rights, gave an impassioned plea to the Senate earlier this month. He was pleased with the passage of the bill.
These families deserve better, and I'm hopeful that today begins the process of being able to heal without the burden of having to advocate.
The bill is expected to cost about $10 billion over the next decade. Protests have already broken out against new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. In an attempt to block Johnson's car from reaching Buckingham Palace, a human chain was formed. Greenpeace claimed the protests, saying they did it to show Johnson the importance of tackling climate change. Met Police were seen quickly dismantling the chain ahead of the car's approach. High heat is also bad in Europe. So bad, in fact, that it could lead to Notre Dame's ceiling collapsing. That's according to the cathedral's chief architect, Philip Villanueva. He says the record-breaking temperatures could jeopardize the vaulted ceiling, which was damaged by a fire on April 15th. Villanueva says since April they haven't been able to access the vaults. Sensors placed around the cathedral have not indicated any movement so far. Temperatures in Paris are forecasted to exceed 100 degrees on Thursday. The heat wave could last through Friday, with temperatures nearing 105 degrees. This month is record-breaking, but for the wrong reasons. That story's still ahead.
And we're going to have cooler than average temperatures tonight, and we're going to have a gradual warm-up throughout the next couple days as well. I have more details about that and the weekend forecast next on Newswatch. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television can be.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. Temperature-wise around the Athens area, looking at pretty comfortable conditions. 76 degrees at the moment. We do have some isolated showers around the area possible today. I'll get to that in a few seconds. Humidity right around 55%. So overall, pretty comfortable evening out there. But the temperature is a lot cooler than we'd normally expected. We normally in the mid to upper 80s this time of year, but we've been in the 70s in the last couple of days. And that's because of the jet stream, the current position of the jet stream. As you can see, the jet stream is going to go right above the northern United States here and then dip down south to below us into almost down to Alabama is where the jet stream is at the moment. And that's bringing a lot of cold air from Canada down into the Ohio area at the moment, giving us these cooler temperatures at the moment. Last couple of days, especially during that heat wave, that jet stream was way above us to the north, bringing up a lot of the heat from the south. This time it's the opposite, giving us those colder temperatures at the moment. So right now around the region, we do have those temperatures in the 70s most of the area. 76 in Ripley, 75 degrees over Marietta, and 75 up in Cambridge as well. We do have a chance of seeing some scattered showers throughout most of the evening tonight. So let's take a look at precipcast. The models are picking up these couple of scattered showers throughout most of the area. Some of them could be carrying some downpours at times. So if you're driving around, make sure you be careful if you hit one of those downpours. If you do see it start to rain, it should be ending pretty quickly. These are moving pretty quickly out of the area. So if we take a look tonight in Athens, 57 degrees will be a low temperature, which is colder than average for this time of year. Those rain showers are going to be moving out here by around midnight tonight, and we'll have winds out of the north at 0 to 5 miles per hour. Around the region tonight, 60 degrees in Ripley, 57 degrees over in Jackson, and 54 up in Cambridge. We're all pretty cool out there tonight. We're normally in the mid-60s for our average low, so a few degrees cooler than normal. We're going to be having clear skies out there tonight. So about tomorrow, waking up at 8 a.m., 60 degrees. It's going to be a cool but humid start to the day out there tomorrow. It's going to be around 90% humidity when you're waking up tomorrow. Warming up to 79 degrees by your lunch hour. It's going to be beautiful conditions outside. Maybe if you want to take your lunch outside, it'd be a great day to do that if you would like. 83 degrees by 4 p.m. The humidity is going to be low, right around 45%, so it's going to be a dry evening out there. Even though it's 83 degrees, it's going to be feeling a lot cooler than we have been the last couple of days because of all that humidity. So it's going to be a nice relief from that. Tomorrow for precipcast, the board is clear of all that green, so we have no rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Again, we might have an evening pop-up short shower, but it's not really looking like that at the moment. It should be clear conditions for most of the area. Tomorrow in Athens, 83 degrees, going to be a low humidity day, so it's going to be very pleasant out there. The UV index is still going to be 6, which is still considered high, so if you're outside, make sure you wear that sunblock. Even though it's a little cooler, you still can get that sunburn. North winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow around the region, 84 degrees or one spot down there in Ripley at 910 and Columbus as well. 80 degrees up in Cambridge and 79 over in New Martinsville. All of some of those sunny skies out there. For your Friday in Athens, warming up to 86 degrees. We could have a foggy morning out there tomorrow, but after those fog burns off, we're going to have plenty of sunshine. Make sure you grab those sunglasses. North winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. And that sunshine continues into the 7-day forecast. Saturday, 88 degrees. It's going to be sunny out there for the entire weekend. Make sure you grab those sunglasses, grab the sunblock. 88 degrees on Sunday as well, and 86 degrees on Monday for the start of your work week. Chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday again, cooling back down to the lower 80s. Joseph?
Thanks, Blake. This month might break records. This July is on track to be the hottest month ever recorded. This as several states have been battling with dangerous heat waves. Last month was the hottest June on record according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA. NOAA says 2019 is likely to be one of the 3 warmest years on record. USA Today reports that final data isn't expected to be available until early August. More than 30 million people in the U.S. have diabetes, and the vast majority have type 2. But researchers say a plant-based diet could be helpful to those dealing with the condition. Brett Conway explains the benefits in today's Health Minute.
A plant-based diet could help prevent type 2 diabetes. That's according to a new study in the journal JAMA Internal Medicine. Researchers found that people who ate a plant-based diet lowered their risk of getting type 2 diabetes by 23%. And when sticking to the healthier items like fresh fruit and veggies, whole grains, nuts, and legumes, and avoiding those beverages sweetened with sugar and refined carbs, they lowered their risk even more by another 30%. And the benefits of the plant-based diet are seen in conjunction, though, with regular exercise and activity. But the results were true among all participants, regardless of age or starting body mass index. Researchers stress, too, that you don't need to be fully vegetarian to enjoy the benefits. The Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet are both plant-based, but include fish and poultry. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 1 in every 10 people here in the U.S. has diabetes, and up to 95% of those cases are type 2, which is lifestyle related. For today's Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
Amazon is joining a new market, and Facebook is facing massive penalties. Next on Newswatch. But stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS. We're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Credit reporting agency Equifax is paying a massive fine for the largest data breach in U.S. history. The 2017 Equifax hack exposed the personal information of nearly 150 million people. What do you do if you were affected, and how do you protect your data from getting stolen? Mary Maloney tells us in today's Consumer Watch.
We need to put confidence back into the word confidential.
A hefty fine for a massive hack. Equifax is expected to pay as much as $700 million for the 2017 data breach that exposed the private information of nearly 150 million people.
We vigorously encourage every person who was impacted by the Equifax data breach to apply for the relief that they are entitled to.
If you think you were affected, officials say go to EquifaxBreachSettlement.com to find out if you could file a claim. As part of the deal, the credit reporting agency is also required to change how it handles private user data. But how do you keep your data safe? Cybersecurity experts at LifeLock say you should consider these options. 1. Get a credit freeze, which keeps potential creditors from accessing your credit report. Also, sign up for fraud alerts and credit monitoring so that you'll get notified anytime someone applies for credit in your name. And get identity theft protection. This monitors your credit at one or all of the 3 reporting agencies and detects suspicious activity. These days, you can't be too safe.
These 3 credit bureau reporting companies collect that information. But if they collect it, they must protect it.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Facebook will pay a record-breaking $5 billion fine for violating user privacy. That's only about a month's worth of the tech giant's revenue. The Federal Trade Commission announced the settlement today. The Washington Post reports the FTC originally planned to fine Facebook tens of billions of dollars and hold CEO/founder Mark Zuckerberg accountable. After years of privacy concerns, Facebook has agreed to the deal of the lesser amount. This including exposing up to 87 million users' personal data to political analysis firm Cambridge Analytica. Facebook, according to the FTC, also allegedly broke the law by using that data to target ads to users. Facebook and Instagram are facing a few new changes. Starting today, anyone under 18 will not be able to see anything about alcohol, tobacco, or e-cigarettes on either platform. A spokesperson says there can't be any private sales, trades, transfers, or giving alcohol and tobacco products as gifts. This also applies to any Facebook groups created to sell alcohol or tobacco products. The spokesperson also says the new policy had been in the works and is not a response to this week's congressional hearings. Boeing is facing some of its biggest losses yet due to the ongoing 737 MAX crisis. Today, the company reported a $3.7 billion hit in the second quarter after the grounding of the 737 MAX. Safety concerns arose after two of the jets crashed within 6 months, killing more than 300 people. It's unsure when the plane will be allowed to fly again, but Boeing says it's still working on fixing the software issues believed to be behind the fatal crashes. Boeing plans to show the solution to aviation officials by September at the earliest. And Amazon has a new partner in the real estate business. The online retailer is joining the real estate brokerage company, Realogy Holdings, in a new program called Turnkey. Realogy is behind several mega brands like Coldwell Banker, Century 21, and Sotheby's International Realty. They say Turnkey will connect home buyers to agents in their area. Once a buyer closes on a house, Amazon then promises to help them move in. The retailer says it will give buyers up to $5,000 in smart home devices and free services. The Turnkey program is available in 15 major metro areas. Some scientists think the Milky Way melded with a smaller galaxy about 10 billion years ago. Using data from the JAMA Space Telescope, researchers are taking measurements to piece together how the Milky Way was formed. And they say there's evidence that the Milky Way violently collided with a dwarf galaxy. The stars of both galaxies were thrown into motion, forming the halo around the Milky Way that exists today. A study included the data was published in the journal Nature Astronomy. Now, over to Blake for the final weather.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty cool evening out there tonight. Maybe you want to open your windows up, give your AC a break. Tonight, overnight low is going to be 57 degrees. We do have some rain showers in the area, but those are going to be moving out of the area by around midnight. And we have north winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. So it's going to be a pretty cool, pleasant evening out there tonight. Tomorrow in Athens, warming up a little bit to 83 degrees. It's going to be a low humidity day, so it's going to be very nice and very pleasant out there. So don't forget the sunscreen, though. Even though it's not as hot as it has been, you can still get sunburn out there. The National Weather Service recommends an SPF 30 or higher for sunscreen out there. And we'll also have north winds of 0 to 5 miles per hour. Taking a look at the next several days, Friday warming up to 86 degrees. It's going to be nice and sunny out there, and that continues to warm up a little bit by the weekend. Saturday, 88 degrees, and Sunday, 88 degrees as well. On Monday, still warm at 86 degrees. Tuesday, cool back down to around 80 degrees, 82 by Tuesday. Might have a few chances of some evening time thunderstorms out there, but Joe, mainly it's going to be hot, sunny, and very beautiful out there.
Yeah, hopefully this cool weather will stick around. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next, and remember you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. For Blake Hardesty, I'm Joseph Hennessy. Have a great night.